to mourn the death of Rex, one of our own. A young man who died in the cause of duty. The only crime that Rex committed was to fight for his own rights. The only crime that Rex committed was to fight for the rights of Kenyan citizens, was to ensure that the high cost of living is lowered, was to ensure that the draconian finance bill does not go through. That is the only crime Rex was fighting for, to ensure that the jobless Kenyans get jobs, to ensure that he was fighting for the rights of everybody, including my own rights. That is the greatest crime that Rex committed. That is what made Rex. And we are demanding as members of the public, and we'll pursue this to the end, to ensure that this police officer is arrested, is persecuted, and is jailed for killing Rex. This is a young man who was just in the streets for a good purpose, demonstrations which were very peaceful. For the first time in the history of this nation, there were very peaceful demonstrations. A young man who was only armed with his brain, his body, and a placard, just to fight for the rights. Then the police officer, armed with everything, guns, rungus, horses, vehicles, tear gas, bullets, and the only reward that police officer can give to a young man is to take his life. A young man who was also fighting for the rights of those police officers, because there is no price of hunger that is different to a police officer, that is also different to a member of the public. And therefore, we will demand for his immediate arrest and prosecution, and also we demand that IG Koome takes vicarious liability, is vicariously liable for the death of this young man, because he's the one who gives orders. We also demand that he be prosecuted. We will also institute a civil suit, civil litigation against him. We will also demand that the violation of right to life that has been infringed by the police be compensated. It will not be enough to exchange money for life, but we will nevertheless want that compensation to go to the family members. And therefore, we'll also, together with the families, institute a constitutional petition for violation of right and declaration violation of right and compensation in terms of damages. I know it is really sad to lose a young man. It should be normal for a child to bury a parent, but it is quite abnormal for a parent to bury a child. It is really painful and heartening. And I know that these atrocities that are being committed by this government, fate has a way of catching up with injustice. President Ruto, where he is seated, how does he feel after Kenyan has lost life just because this Kenyan was trying to correct his mistakes, the mistakes that is forcing on the throats of Kenyans? And I want to tell him that it shall not stop there. It shall not stop there. I urge all the young men and women in this country to unite. Let the death of Rex not just go in vain. We will give Rex a befitting send-off of a hero, because he's a warrior, he's a hero. He's died for us so that we can enjoy the fruits of liberation, and we shall not disappoint him. And I urge young men and women, the millennials, the Gen Zs, Kenyans, not to let this death go in pain. Let there be still demonstrations across the country, in every ward, in every constituency, in every sub-county, in every county, and in the whole nation. Kenyans spoke yesterday, and they will still speak. No amount of shootings, no amount of deaths shall prevent them from fighting for their rights. And therefore, we will continue fighting. May Rex soul rest in peace. We are here and we are mourning the death of our hero, a young man called Rex, who was shot yesterday by a police officer. And I went earlier on judiciary, and I can confirm that REX is no more. I want to say that REX's only crime was to fight for the rights of Kenyans. His only crime was to come out and ensure that we fight the draconian finance bill. REX committed a crime of only ensuring that the price of unga is not increased, the price of other goods, food stuff are not increased. And therefore, may REX soul rest in peace. To the Inspector General of Police, we demand that you resign. For Ome, we know that you are vicariously liable to the murder with malice forethought of one REX. Therefore, you must resign, and the DPP must institute a criminal charge of murder against your person. The police officer who murdered REX, you must surrender yourself before Kenyans catch up with you. Because if they get you on the streets, it will be something different. I want to state clearly to the police officers, your work is to keep law and order. Your work is not to kill Kenyans. We are many than you. Suppose we decide to destroy you, what do you think will happen? Will we have a nation? Lastly, the 115 members of parliament who voted, congratulations for standing with Kenyans, you voted with Kenyans. The 204 members, you voted with the oppressors. We know you are political dealers, you are not political leaders. We know you are leaders who have a mission, but not a vision. A mission to destroy the future of this nation. A mission to ensure that the finance bill raises the cost of living in this nation, but not a vision to change the future of this nation for the best. Zakayo, I want to tell you that you are still on the tree. Mzizi are cutting down the tree. Hiyo mti ndio itakatwa, imekataa kushuka. Patani next week, let there be demonstrations everywhere in the country, in every ward, in every constituency, in every sub-county, in every county, and across the nation. Let us proceed with the struggle. Thank you.
Right now there are demolitions going on in Nairobi. The government has moved with a lot of speed to destroy people's property, houses that people used a lot of resources to construct this property. And the government has moved and caused a lot of chaos in these slum areas. It's still raining. People are spending in the cold. People are spending in the rains. The government does not care. President has run away to the United States of America. He's gone there to have fun, because when we see him, he's just greeting people, merrying around, using 200 million to hire a private jet, while that 200 million can be used to resettle these flood victims, further adding insult to an injury by destroying their houses. How inhuman can President Ruto be to move and destroy people's structures, houses, businesses? We will not take this lightly as Nairobians, because this is affecting so many lives. Over 40,000 lives, over 40,000 families in Nairobi are being affected. They are being left homeless, and the president is advising them to build on the hill. The only house on the hill is State House. So should they come and get accommodated at State House? And number two, you constructed the affordable housing, the houses that you've been promoting day in, day out for hustlers. Why can't you give these hustlers these houses? We don't support the demolitions that is taking place across Nairobi, and that is affecting the livelihood of so many families. Children cannot go to school simply because they don't have where they will come back to as a house. So we need to treat Kenyans with a lot of respect, treat Nairobians with a lot of respect. And these demolitions must stop with an immediate effect. Thank you.